Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about cashless society. And I was reading an article today by JP Chase entitled Digital Wallets Are Supporting the Drive to a True Cashless Society. And in this article, it was discussing that merchants who are expanding internationally should keep an eye on how to move away from cash and to more digital currency. And also in particular, this trend could potentially lead to expect to see an increase in card payments through digital wallets such as Google Pay and Apple Pay. So there's a lot of movement going on right now away from cash. I just also read a few weeks back that the Federal Reserve is not going to be minting any more coins. Therefore, there's a coin shortage in the market. And so this is going to lead to more and more coin shortages. There will be less dollar bills. Maybe it would be just $5 and $10 and $20 bills, maybe even $100 bills only later on. So we are moving away from a cash society to a cashless society. And in 1661, Sweden was the first country in Europe to introduce banknotes. And now Sweden is a pioneer again, with the country on course to become one of the first cashless societies in all of Europe. According to recent research, this could happen as early as 2023. And in fact, according to the article, there's some rumors that it will start happening in 2021. In some parts of the world. Coins and banknotes have been prohibited on buses for a number of years, and in addition, Sweden is developing a government-created cryptocurrency, the world's first. A pilot scheme to create the state-backed e-krona was launched in 2019. Unsurprisingly, e-commerce is also almost entirely digital in Sweden, with only 1% of transactions settled with cash. 99% of all e-commerce is done using digital wallets instead of cash. Only 1% of all transactions is only using cash. And there would appear to be no going back. Cash use is predicted to plummet at a compound annual growth rate of negative 35.1% to 2021, which means that 35.1% of the people will use less cash by 2021 than they are using right now. So they're heading towards a cashless society very, very quickly and not too far away in the distant future. When it comes to e-commerce, the Nordics is the most cashless region out of those covered by JP Morgan's Global Payment Trends reports. This is a reflection of the high degree of technology adoption as well as strong trust in financial institutions. And I also read that Sweden and Norway are also using chips, RFID chips, to use to go into buildings, into offices, and to potentially make purchases and to be able to, do your everyday life. And eventually they will start putting your health information in there and all kinds of banking information and identity information. So they're very ahead of the curve when it comes to stuff like this. Now, I'm not saying that this is the best way to do it, but I'm just stating the fact that this is where they are going into. Cashless culture could influence how your business accepts payments. As other countries follow this trend, merchants will need to make sure they support a range of payment options, so cash is not going to be the only way to make purchases. In fact, because of coronavirus, a lot of people are afraid to use cash now because they're afraid that the cash is going to start carrying the coronavirus, and if you touch that cash and you touch your nose or your mouth or your eyes with it afterwards, you can spread that disease very quickly. Even if it's not coronavirus, you can spread other diseases like the flu or anything else. Cards will be the most likely beneficiary from the move away from cash, but digital wallets are also becoming more widespread, as are other payment methods. So credit cards are going to be widespread in use, and also digital wallets. In Sweden, open invoicing is particularly popular, and the country is the home of Klarna, a home of a buy now, pay later online payment option that has spread across Europe. PayPal and Apple's publicly reported growth rates suggest that both could potentially be gaining consumer preference and merchant adoption. Digital wallets directly address consumer security and help push toward a true cashless society. So even security is a factor here when it comes to using digital wallets and cryptocurrencies, and also Apple Pay, Google Pay, and other forms of electronic payments, which we are heading towards in a very not distant future. It's going to be very soon, folks, potentially by 2021 and even by 2023. Given these cultural shifts, merchants and regulators will need to work hard to reassure customers about payment security. When Bitcoin took off back around 2017, 2018, 2019. It went down. It was because it was not widely usable. It wasn't used by a lot of companies and a lot of places. But once a lot of companies and a lot of merchants begin to use Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, it's only going to take off from there, and it's going to be very widely used in my opinion. In fact, the government recently backed No Cash Day, an annual event designed to break down distrust of credit and debit payments. So in Japan, cash also carries a cultural perception of offering security and anonymity when making payments. So that's according to Japan, which is now one reason why it still accounts for 13% of e-commerce payments. So according to Japan, they're still using cash right now because it provides security, but they're going to slowly start moving away from that. And the same thing with India. India is also beginning to use demonetizing and going away from cash and going into an electronic payment format. And this has affected the number of merchants accepting cash on delivery. Major players like Amazon, Flipkart, and Big Basket have all limited or removed this payment option from India's e-commerce. As a result, the use of cash for e-commerce is set to fall from 17% of the market to 10% by 2021. So that's a 7% decline in less than a year. Another country seeing major drops in cash usage is Singapore. In this advanced and digitally savvy country, cash is used in just 5% of transactions, which is very, very low. A figure projected to decline to 2% by 2021. So we're talking about only 2% of all e-commerce transactions taking place in anything other than cash. So it would be digital currencies, cryptocurrencies, digital wallets. So 3 things to take away from this e-commerce and what merchants are doing to going away from cash to cashless society is that number 1, card and digital wallet payments are growing in countries where cash use is falling. It's only inevitable. It's going to come whether you like it or not. Unfortunately, we are heading towards a cashless society. The Federal Reserve is already not having any plans to mint any more coins. And if they do, it's going to be very limited. And number 2, the cashless trend is not universal, and some cultures are still using cash at significant levels, so merchants are recommending to take a country-by-country approach when exploring payment methods. So some countries are still not up to taking a cashless society approach. However, I believe that as soon as more countries begin, the bigger countries begin to start going away from cash and start using digital currencies, I believe that these smaller countries will begin to soon follow them. It will only be a matter of time before everybody starts using digital currencies, and potentially in the future, they will all start using RFID chips to make their payments. Number 3, digital wallets can also help to ease security fears for those consumers who may still view cash as a form of protection from cyber fraud. So people are still afraid by using digital currencies because of the security features. Digital wallets become more secure and less hackable by people. I think more and more people will start trusting it, and they will start using it more widely, and it will be more widespread. And I think that there will be potential for it to grow more so that other countries and other people will start using it. So guys, this is my update today. I think that it is something that it will inevitably happen not too far in the distant future. And I think that it's better for you to be prepared now before it completely becomes prevalent in the economy, so that you are ahead of the game versus waiting until it all becomes prevalent and then you come in later on. So that's my opinion. That's my view on this whole subject matter. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I don't know if you guys use cryptocurrencies or digital wallets. I know I do. I use a lot of PayPal and other forms of payment. So I just want to know what you guys use. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.